Ooh. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. How are y'all doing today? I hope y'all are having a marvelous day. This is day 14. Day 14 of my 30-day run. We're staying true to this. Once again, you must stay disciplined. I don't always want to do it. I don't always want to do a live, but we're now on our 14th day. There's a few things that's happening here, right? There's multiple things that's happening here as we continue to do these lives. One, right? We continue to get our message out there. We continue to put this out to new people of who we are and what we do and what we offer. When you're running your own thing, who's going to treat you better than you? Right? You have to market yourself. So, as if this may be uncomfortable to anybody, like consider that who's going to do it better than you. On the other hand, while we're doing these things, what is this doing? This is all practice. Everything goes towards something, right? Me speaking every day, it improves your language, it improves the way that you speak on a public platform. So we take these things and we study these things so we can be better. First of all, you have to want to be better. I always want to be better. I'm my biggest critic. So if I'm not doing something correct, I don't need you to tell me because I'm studying myself. And if I feel like okay, it's good enough to present, because you got a lot when you're dealing with social media. You may have some people just may be flat out haters. Then you may have some that's saying, well, this could be better or that could be better, and they could be spot on. So you got to be able to take criticism too and critique. So this does multiple things. This 30-day run, it's doing multiple things. Now, one thing that's for damn sure is when I start speaking specific about what we're talking about with this land stuff, I'm speaking from experience with that. I'm just looking for how I'm delivering the message. So today we want to talk about land entitlements. Somebody dropped in the comments yesterday. I asked for you to suggest different topics for us to speak about because we are on a 30-day run. And sometimes I'm wondering what you're thinking, what you want to hear about. So somebody suggested yesterday to speak about land entitlements. I was a little reserved to do this topic about land entitlements, and I'll tell you why. The reason I was a little hesitant and reserved to speak about land entitlements is because this is a little more advanced. When we're dealing with land entitlements, this subject is a lot more advanced than just basic land investing and entry level investing and tax deeds and things like that. This is what advanced land investors, big boys, play this game about land entitlements. But let's give it to you. Let's give you everything you need to know. I don't know who's on the other side of these lives, right? You may be somebody that wants to come in and jump in this space. You may be somebody that want to get involved in land entitlements, right? So let's just dive into land entitlements. So first of all, and I'll try to keep this as simple as possible. So, what is a land entitlement? A land entitlement is when you buy a piece of property. Let me paint this picture for you. When you buy a piece of property, let's say you bought a 10-acre plot of land. And let's say that, let me dumb it down even further. Let me just dumb it all the way down. Let's just say you bought a 1-acre plot of land, right? And you want to build your dream home on it. What needs to happen? There's certain steps before you can start to build. You have to get the property entitled. Getting it entitled means that you would probably, what goes into that, you would have to hire a surveyor, get the property surveyed, make sure the boundaries and everything are exact. Then if you're building a home, you need to contact the county and make sure it's zoned for building the type of home that you want to build. And this depends on where you're playing at. If you're in the inside of the city limits, you have to abide by what the city limits and the county laws are about what could be built where, what size house, what style of house, duplex, triplex. You have to abide by the zoning laws. If it falls outside of the zoning laws, let's just say the zoning laws said that only single family residential can go on that land in that area. If you wanted to do something other than that, you would have to get it rezoned. You would have to get permission from the county. Forms would have to be filled out. There may or not be, more than likely, there will be some sort of fee attached to that. You would have to get it rezoned. Once that's all done, then you would have to have your engineers come in and your architectures to draw up blueprints of what the house is that you're going to build. And these are all the things that go into entitlements. And they cost to get these entitled. So if you have a lot, a 1 acre lot, if I bought a 1 acre lot today and I just wanted to sell it as raw land, no entitlements, right? Let's say I paid 30,000 for the lot. Let's say the area is going for 60,000, right? Let's say the area is going for 100,000. I got it for 30,000. I can sell it probably for at whatever price it will go for. But if that property was entitled and I was selling that same lot with the entitlements placed on it, it boosts up the value of the lot. So as opposed to me being able to sell it, let's say I was able to sell it for 70, I probably would be able to sell it for 95. Y'all get where I'm going with this? Entitlements mean that once I pitch this to a contractor that wants to build, all they have to do is come in and crack ground. That's why they're so attractive, because you've done all the work already for them. You got it entitled already. So contractors don't have to go and do anything but crack ground, start building. That's why entitled property, you almost, especially in a decent area, you'll never have a problem selling it. It's already entitled. This is what contractors, it's like giving it to them on a platter. Just come in and start building. Then they can predict the cost of the build based upon the comps. That'll predict the estimated cost that they're going to sell it for. It's making sense. You're following so far? Talk to me in the chat. Let me know if you're following where we're going with the entitlements. So let's say we were talking about doing a subdivision. Let's just say 20 acres. You had 20 acres and you wanted to break that down into a subdivision, right? Let's say that each acre would yield, let's say, a quarter of an acre per acre. That means that you will be able to get 4 lots out of each acre, right? 4 lots out of each acre. And if you were to get each individual lot entitled, you would be able to sell each individual lot with the entitlements to a contractor. And it'll go for much more than if you sold the lots if it wasn't entitled. This takes time. Entitlements can take anywhere from sometimes years, just depend on the area. Could be as quick as 6 months, or it could be 2 years. It just depends on the area and the county that you're working with. However, if you do get it entitled, it will always go for max value that it can possibly go for. The work is already done. It is a more advanced play. This is not for new people or beginners. I suggest as a new person that you don't come in the game right away looking to do land entitlements. Get some experience under your belt before you start taking on land entitlements. Because when you're dealing with contractors that's in the game, they're savvy. They'll be much more savvier than you, and you may potentially lose money on a deal because you're not as savvy as them. So a lot of guys that's been in the game, like right now with rates the way they are and the price of building and the price of lumber and things, when they're high like this, they say, well, just get it entitled and let somebody else worry about the bill. And you can make just as much money. Clearly, you won't make as more if you would have contracted and built the houses and sold them individually, but it's a lot more work that will go into trying to build a subdivision of, 40 homes than as opposed to just getting each lot entitled and selling them off as entitled lots. That's really the game that I believe I only seen one person out really teaching about entitlements. But that's where you make more advanced land flipping, and that's where you make top dollar in dealing with land flips is land entitlements. It's just not for people that's inexperienced. You have to know what you're looking to get into. You have to all those things that I named. You have to deal with surveyors. You have to deal with engineers. You have to deal with architects. You'll be dealing with contractors. And all of these people that I've suggested will cost, and all of these people will be experienced. So that's why we suggest for new people, once again, get started, get some experience, learn the game. Only reason that I did this live and had this conversation about the entitlements is because it was suggested, and I wanted to honor what the brother suggested. Otherwise than that, I wouldn't even be speaking about land entitlements on a public platform, because just the truth of the matter, most of our audience, this message is relatively new to everybody. So we don't want to jump over steps. The first step is just get some education on the general space. That's the first step. Get some education on the general space. Do some land flips. If you want to hold on to some, just learn how to get it at a discounted price at first. Learn how to deal with people selling land. Learn the language. All of those things. That's what I would suggest you to start at. So today is Monday. Did I say 13 or 14? Now I'm confused. I don't remember what day we're on. I think we're on our 13th. I have to check that. 13th or 14th day or of going live, right? New people. I think my live tomorrow is going to be on where to buy land for $1,250 and sell for anywhere from $4,000 to $15,000. In the past, I have done a whole Zoom presentation, a Zoom call for free, a whole training on this particular area. I believe I'm going to bring that back, and I'll show you, right? You'll come to a Zoom with me. You'll see exactly what I'm speaking about. You'll see a place that they're selling land for $1,250. And then I'm going to indeed show you that same area that you buy. And when I say show you, it's not going to be what I think. I'm going to show you the screen that says $1,250 for land. And then we're going to walk you through so you can see that area that they're selling it for $1,250. You'll see with your own eyes that plots of land are selling as high as close to $20,000 to $25,000 in certain parts of that area. You will also see that area will consistently hold from $4,000 to $8,000 consistently. Wherever I take you in this area, you won't find a plot of land less than that amount. So that's going to be our live tomorrow. Make sure you tune into that one, because I think I'm going to drop the link of where you can get signed up for that Zoom call. Right? I'm going to drop the link for you to sign up for that Zoom call. That call usually packs out. You definitely want to be on that call. I like doing the call because I don't know. It's nothing like seeing it with your own eyes. I can talk to I'm blue in the face, but when you see it and see it spelt out with your own eyes, maybe that'll hit different. Maybe that'll sink in different when you see it, when it says land here. And then I go and pull up the comps for you to see land is consistently selling from that range that I spoke about. So for the third day in a row, this is going to be an area that I show you tomorrow. This is going to be like our investor in our community, the young lady who I said bought for $12.50 and sold for $15,000. This is where she got it from. So she made a close to a $14,000 profit. I'll say a little under 14. She had to pay some fees, some transfer fees and things like that. So a little under $14,000 profit. And you too can participate in that same place. And I'm going to show you step by step on how you can do it. So this was a quick live. I wanted to tap dance on the conversation about land entitlements. Although I feel like now you have an idea of what land entitlements are. I do suggest that if you're new, right? If you know about land entitlements, you're probably experienced inside of this space. If you know, because as I run across people, only people that know about land entitlements know something about the space already. So that's why we don't speak about land entitlements, because as I stated before, we're typically starting from the start, from the beginning of land investing. So y'all know what y'all need to do. Text 1-877-250-7778 to get started land investing today. Only if you're ready to get started. If you have questions, you can head over to Acre Boys Academy and read up on some of the things that we do to get some questions answered. If you're ready to get started, you can text that number. If not, we'll come back tomorrow with that live with the $1,250 buys. All right, so this has been real. This has been a short one. We in and out. And I'm gonna keep the day going. I'm still compiling a list of land bank properties. That's for my paid community. We're going throughout the whole country where we are giving the whole community a list of land banks in each states that they can participate in. I ran across last night, and I'll give you this as a jewel. I mean, you can look it up yourself if you know how to find it. But I ran across Detroit land bank. They got houses in Detroit selling for $1,000 houses, and they got a bunch of them. But the thing is, see, when opportunity knocks, you have to strike. You're a little late on Detroit. Houses are $1,000. I have a community member that's from Detroit. That's from the heart of that area. So what did I do? This is the power of communication. I don't have to be there. I have a team member there. I called them up on the phone last night. Look, houses going for $1,000 over here in this area. What's the scoop? Give me the scoop on what's going on over here. And true, indeed, they are going for $1,000. But they're gut rehab all the way down to the bone. And they're in some of these areas are crime riddled. They're bad areas. So being an out-of-state investor, and the other caveat is now they're imposing fees on top of those owners who own those properties and not fixing them up. I believe they're giving, I think 12 to 18 months or 14 to 18 months to do something with the property, fix the properties up, because those are called blighted properties and they're eyesores for the community. And that's the purpose of a land bank. A land bank is to re-beautify the neighborhood. And that's why they give them for so cheap, to incentivize people of the neighborhood to come in and bring the properties back up to speed. But I always get excited when I see these properties being offered for so low. But if you was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, before they start imposing these fees on landowners, I believe that the play then would have been one of two things. Either you could have rehabbed them, held on to them, rented them out, sold them, whatever you decided to do, or just buy them for 1,000 and hold on to them to see what side of that town changes, because certain parts of it is being gentrified as we speak. So if you knew which side was being gentrified back 3, 4 years ago, I would have bought some, held on to them in the areas that I felt was coming up being gentrified. This is just plays that we run across, and there's other areas that do these same exact things. This is why you have to be on the inside, so you'll be one of the first few people to hear about these things. So that's one of the tasks that we're taking down today. I'm going back to compiling that list, and we give that list. I don't know what area you are in, but land banks, as I stated yesterday, it's a longer play. Typically, land banks want you to do something with the properties other than flip the properties. There are a handful of land banks that we ran across that allow you to just buy as is and do whatever you like, put them back on the market if you like to. All right, so text 1-877-250-7778 to get started investing today. Y'all enjoy the rest of this day. That was a brief conversation on the topic of land entitlements. I hope that it helped somebody. I hope it shed some light somewhat on land entitlements if you were ever wondering what they was. All right, peace, love.